All right, guys, what's going on? Today, I don't know if you saw it, IFL TV, Eddie Hearn gave an interview. And in that interview, he was talking about a mix between, Kell Brook, Khan, Vargas, Jesse Vargas, Liam Smith, Conor Benn. And, Eddie Hearn was basically talking about making these fights. He was talking about, Khan Brook, of course, the fight that everybody wanted to see for very long. Conor Benn v Amir Khan, Josh Kelly v Kell Brook. What do you make? What do you make of that mix? And do you think that Conor Benn or Kelly and Brook is a fight that that can happen?
I think Conor Brook will happen because I think that's a big money fight, and Conor will look at it. That makes sense for me. But I don't think in boxing terms that Conor Benn versus Khan or Conor Benn versus Kelly is going to really motivate Khan to get up. He's not going to want those fights. So I personally don't think that he would take them fights anyways. The only fight out of those that I think he would take is probably the Kell Brook fight, and that's because it's obviously been going on for years and years. But Brook and Kelly, they're just people that have just come now. There's not much rivalry between the two.
You know what? Believe it or not, I'd actually be more interested in Amir Khan v Conor Benn, even though it might sound crazy and it might sound like, why? And obviously, as as somebody that's been watching Amir Khan for a very long time, we obviously know he's not in his prime. However, I still think he beats Conor Benn I think he beats...
Should beat Conor Benn.
Yeah,
let's be honest, he's a domestic fighter at the moment, and he's more of a... he's not fought at the level as Khan. Even Khan, being a washed up Khan, should really be able to outbox him, outmaneuver him. Like Conor Benn is just all guts, and he just likes to put it all on the line when he fights. He's not really... There's not a lot of skill there. Let's be honest. He's not a very skillful talent. He's just someone that's rough, rugged, and he can bring it. Like that shouldn't be enough to beat someone like Amir Khan. With the fights he's been in, he should be able to use his experience even at this age. Even at this time of his boxing career to outmaneuver and out hustle. He could even knock Ben out. It's not really. Let's be honest. Like it's not really a fight, is it? I think Khan will beat Conor Benn. He's just not good enough, man. He's not. He's got slow feet. He's a guy that likes to come forward and have a fight. I think Khan can use his hand speed and just outmaneuver him really. If Khan can beat better fighters and outmaneuver better fighters than Conor Benn.
Yeah, but again, you keep talking beat better fighters, but that was a long time ago. No one's saying that they believe that Prime Khan wouldn't beat Conor Benn. Everybody knows that Prime Khan would beat him comfortably, but that's beside the point. But this version of Khan, right? We don't know. Obviously, I've said this, that I think even if he turns up at 70%, he should beat Conor Benn. But at the end of the day, Conor Benn's improving. Every fight he's getting better. He just beat a guy in Formella who a lot of people thought would be a tough fight, right? And I know Formella's not Amir Khan, but we don't know where Amir Khan's at. What level is Amir Khan at now? He's not what he was 10 years ago. Yeah, everybody resigns to the fact that 10 years ago, Amir Khan would dismantle Conor Benn. We wouldn't even be talking about it. Some guy mentioned it to me the other day on my Instagram that the fact that people are even talking about Conor Benn and Khan, this wasn't last couple of days ago. This was a month ago. He goes, the fact that people are even mentioning Amir Khan and Conor Benn just shows how much Amir Khan has declined now that people are even talking about that. Because really, back in his prime, Conor Benn and Khan wouldn't even be mentioned. It was that much of a joke, But Conor Benn, having said that, Conor Benn's talking about fighting Porter. Conor Benn is now moving forward. If Conor Benn puts in a performance against Vargas, if Conor Benn destroys Vargas, I'm saying knocks him out in 5-6 rounds, and Amir Khan had a hard fight with him years prior, right? Had a hard fight with Vargas, got dropped by him, right? And Benn looks more impressive. Why not years later when Amir Khan's not been active? Why can't that be a fight that would be interest of fans? Because the Brook Khan fight, the Khan Brook fight, fans aren't interested in that because they feel there's two guys that are past their prime. With a Kelly Brook or a Amir Khan v Conor Benn, you know why people will be interested? Because you got one guy that is up and coming, right? And you got one guy that's the old guard, right? And it's going to be, is the old still is the O gonna beat the up and comer, or is the up and comer gonna be able to beat Amir Khan, right, and you get his name to propel his career?
I just don't think, like, if I'm going to be honest, like, if you want to break down them fights, you can, but I just don't think that those fights going to happen, to be honest. There's not going to be enough on the table to, you got to realize now, Khan knows he's coming to the end of his career. He's obviously a prize fighter now. But let's see, it might happen. You never know if there's enough coming on the table. Maybe he might make the split so one-sided that, yeah, he might just think, oh, I'll just take this fight. But let's see. I don't think those fights happen. But I think he should beat those two still. I think those guys are, even at this time of his career, I think those guys are a level below, in talent-wise. I think even at this age. And I think Conor Benn will have his boots full against Vargas, by the way. That's not an easy fight. And you'll see he'll struggle in that fight. He might get put over himself.
Yeah, who knows? I do think the Vargas fight is one that's being overlooked. Talk about that fight. How do you see that one going, Vargas?
I think obviously Ben's gonna do what he does, be rugged, but Vargas is also a rugged type of guy. And
Virgil Ortiz destroyed.
Oh no, but Virgil Ortiz class. He's way better than Conor Benn, and come on, let's be. Virgil Ortiz stops Conor Benn in probably 3-4 rounds. That guy's at a different level. Let's not compare him to Vargas. Vargas is someone that's been in there with the top guys. Conor Benn hasn't. Conor Benn to Vargas isn't gonna face Vargas. Vargas has been in there with Spence, Khan, God knows how many other good fighters.
Garcia, Virgil Ortiz.
Come on now. This guy's been in there with the best and lasted. I just don't think.
Not lasted. He'd been banged out. The only one he went the distance with was Khan.
What I'm saying is that, come on, those guys. He's levels. Conor Benn is even levels below Khan. Let's be honest. He's not on that level. I just don't. I think Conor Benn has his hands full here in this fight. Samuel Vargas is levels above Formella. Let's be honest. He's way better than Formella. Yeah. Right. So you got to realize it's
way better. Do you think Vargas is way better? I think he's better. I think he's offensively more of a threat. Yes, he's offensively more of a threat.
I don't think Conor Benn's. Let me put it this way. I don't think Conor Benn is good enough to destroy Vargas. He's just not good enough to do it. Destroy someone, you got to have some serious talent to do that.
What I'm saying is, if he does destroy Vargas, then you're saying he's fringe world level.
Yeah, but I don't think he will do.
Yeah, it's okay.
Very unlikely.
Give me your prediction on that fight.
I think Conor Benn might win on points. I think he'll win a rugged fight on points, or might be a late stoppage. Or honestly, if I have to go with it, I'd probably say Conor Benn on points. But if I was to give my prediction, I think it's a 50-50 fight. It's not where you're going to say that, one guy's so much better than the other. It's not like that.
So let me talk about Kelly Avanesian. That's a great fight as well. Avanesian's a very, very good fighter. And Avanesian's a guy that a lot of people are picking to beat Kelly. I think Avanesian might be the slight favourite in that fight. What do you make of that fight?
Also, like with Josh Kelly, I think he has a lot to prove as well. He had a draw against Ray Robinson, who's not really a elite welterweight. Let's be honest, right? He should be beating those type of guys comfortably, and he drew. So that goes to show what level he's at.
I think Ray Robinson drew with Mean Machine.
Who?
Ray Robinson drew with Mean Machine.
Regardless, if he drew with Mean Machine, I don't know about that. But what I'm saying is that
he did.
The thing is that if Kelly, you got to realize Kelly doesn't want to be a mean machine. Kelly wants to be a guy that's competing with like Keith Thurman, Spence, Pacquiao. He's not on that level from what I've seen. If he's that good,
but again,
if he was that good, he would be comfortably beating Ray Robinson comfortably.
He
might even lose to this guy, and I don't even know how he's.
Okay, but let's talk about. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about if Kelly and Brook was to be talked about. I don't know whether Brook would want that fight. Again, it might be similar to Khan. Then, how do you see that one going?
I think that one's a good fight for Kelly because it's an experienced fight. Because Kell Brook's been in there with the likes of Crawford, Golovkin. That would be a good fight. Plus, it's a good fight now because Brook's near the end of his career. So that would be a very good fight for Kelly. But the thing is, once again, do those fights happen? Because Brook's thinking, what does this bring out for me? Well, what's in it for me if I fight Kelly? If I lose to Kelly, then I've lost all my, I've lost everything. Because if you lose to a domestic fighter, he's going to completely go back in the dump. But I think Kelly and Brooke would be a good little fight between two domestic fighters. You know, it would be a good fight. Let's be honest, but I don't know. Maybe Kelly might just outmaneuver him. You know, with his slick boxing skills. I don't know. But I think in prime Brooke, I think would beat Josh Kelly. I just think Josh Kelly looks good. Do you know when someone looks good, but they don't really have the substance? Conor Kelly's one of them ones. I'm telling you, he's one of them ones that like to do all of this slick. But you'll see when he comes up against someone.
I don't really like making speculations or making judgments because, to be honest with you, I don't know.
I know. Because I've seen him against Ray Robinson.
But you keep saying you've seen him against Ray Robinson. He drew that fight. I know a lot of people thought he lost, but the fact of the matter is that he was very young. He's still very young early in his career.
Let's see.
I don't think you can say he's won with. Yeah, he does sometimes give the impression at top level that he might be one of those guys where, you know, he looks good, but he might not be able to crack it. But we don't know. Let's be honest. I don't know. I don't really like to write somebody off.
He's still green.
I think Kelly's a good fighter. I like him. I think he's
a good fighter. Come on, we can't say he's not a good fighter. He's a good fighter.
But at the end of the day, against Brooke,
the
thing is, you know what I think? I think from a management point of view, it's dangerous. If you put someone like Ben in with Khan and Khan destroys him, right? Now all of a sudden you've done him. Ben might not be able to recover, neither with Kelly if Kelly goes in there with Brooke and Brooke beats him. I actually think Kelly would stand a better chance with Khan or Brooke because Kelly's a better boxer. Kelly's a good boxer and he's very skilled. He's got fast feet, fast hands. He's very skilled, right? Ben is more of a fighter. You know, he likes to have a fight. He likes to have a tear-up. So for me, that could be a problem against skilled fighters.
What I'm thinking, if these two both come past their fight, why don't they just make Kelly versus Ben? That's
what he said. Yeah, Kelly.
That's better, man.
Yeah.
Kelly. I would rather watch Kelly versus Ben because they're, you know, like.
I think that's what's
Khan versus Conor Benn. That's not. It's just not a natural fight, man. It's just a weird fight. Brooke versus Ben. Why would you want to? It's just not natural, man. Conor Benn versus Josh Kelly, if they both come past their fights, I personally feel in that fight, I think it can either go two ways. Josh Kelly outmaneuvers Ben, or Ben basically out-hustles him. It's going to be one of the two.
What do you think? Who would you pick? Who would you pick?
You would have to go with the boxer, innit? Kelly, because obviously boxing usually wins. Let's be honest, the better boxer usually wins. So I would always pick, I would pick, at this stage, I would definitely pick Kelly to outmaneuver Ben. But it not to be an easy fight for Kelly, let me tell you that, because Conor Benn's a type of fighter, he will bring it, and he's not a type of fighter. He's a type of fighter that's got Kelly's not knocking Ben out. There's no way he's knocking Ben out. Ben's got an absolute granite chin from his dad, right? He ain't knocking Ben out. But I've seen Ben being put over by like lower level fighter Payno, and he showed a lot of resilience in that fight, and then he knocked that guy down 3 times to win the fight, and he showed serious heart. I don't think. Look, we will be able to tell a lot in this Ben's next fight versus Vargas, because let's be honest, Vargas is a good stiff test for Ben. If he can come through this looking good, then you got to realize he deserves a Kelly fight. If Kelly beats Abanesian, there's no. If Kelly ducks him and says, "Oh no, he doesn't deserve it," trust me, he does deserve it, because Kelly's not beaten anyone of note where he's some star himself, where he's thinking, "Oh no, I've beaten." Who's Kelly beaten? Nobody. He's beaten a similar level fighters that Conor Benn's beaten. Let's be honest. But let's see. I personally do not believe that. Even if he does outmaneuver him, he'll outmaneuver him in a very close fight. I don't think Kelly's got the skill level to just completely make it one-sided versus Ben. I think it will be a good fight, but I think Kelly might just edge it.
Let's see. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think there's a possibility that Amir Khan and Ben could happen, or Brooke Kelly? Leave your thoughts. Or Khan, Brooke, and Kelly, Ben. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And guys, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to share my videos. Make sure to join my Facebook group, my Instagram, my Twitter. Join all my social media platforms. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.